Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our great Mushoku Tensei watch through, where we watched through all of season one. It was a rewatch for me. It was the first watch through for Kyle Entertainment, and Jarkey Bacon wasn't there, just like he isn't here this episode because he's busy having fun in his trip wherever he is right
Send
now.
it to me, Alita. He had a joke about fucking
Go ahead,
Jarkey
Kyle. Say
Bacon.
something
Not me,
funny.
you fucking idiot. Well, everybody, we killed that fucking idiot Jarkey Bacon. He's dead. Uh, Alita, he's monetized now, but not on his second channel, so I can threaten.
Yep.
Well, I guess I didn't threaten to kill him. I said he was dead and said fuck in the first sentence. Jarkey Bacon's in like Europe or something. He was in Paris, and wait, is that public?
I don't know. Yeah, no, we tweeted it out.
Everything.
Yeah, TwitchCon or something.
Yeah, he's doing his video game nonsense or something. Now he's in Canada or something. The point is he's not here and he's not here right now. So we don't have to listen to him, thank God. But also, can you believe that? So I'm here. It's back to the EliteAri original crew.
Yeah, for
it's
2
me and
episodes.
Ari.
Because we're doing episodes 3 and 4, and we'll be back next time for whatever we end up doing. But yeah, okay. So how should we, Kyle? What do you? Last time you gave these a 7 out of 10. I guess summarize your thoughts from last time. Go ahead.
From last time, I
Yeah,
can't even remember what episodes we're doing this time.
Yeah,
we're doing
so
the fucking episode and the one afterwards, which I think I remember. Now the ones
Yeah, with the
before that, we
Lionel's.
had episode 0, which was Sylphie and the gang. And then there was Depressed Rudy 1 and Depressed Rudy 2.
True.
There was one where he fought a tree, apparently, but we didn't entirely get it, and it was terrible or something. People were complaining about
Right.
it. And there was one before that. Now, what the fuck happened in that first Rudy episode?
Fought the bears.
Wasn't
They
that
had
the second
drinks.
one?
No.
Oh, they went to that
one.
underground city with our crazy demon girl.
True.
That
Kishirika.
Yes. Now, did something happen with her in the most recent episodes, or did I have a dream about that character, EliteAri? Isn't that a fascinating question?
that is pretty funny. No, she wasn't in the recent. I guess you could piece it together that not piece it together, but oh god, it's so complicated, Kyle. At the end of season 1, Roxy met up with her and she told her where Zenith was, and they mentioned that they found
I didn't remember
Zenith,
that.
and oh my god. Yeah, but you must have just dreamt about it.
I think I had a dream. Now, what was the context of this? It was her and another character, and she does remind me of another character in something, and not even in the generic way.
Power?
Oh, there probably is. No, you fucking idiot. Not Power from hit TV series Chainsaw Man.
Right.
It's like, it might be from Laputa, the first Studio Ghibli movie. Isn't the old girl and that kind of look like her? She's got like a pip. No, that's Lunatone, or there's plenty of Pokemon that have similar names to that. Come fuck up EliteAri and distracting me. There's something about it. And then there's a character that reminds me of her in personality. And for whatever reason, in the dream or something, now I don't remember the context for this dream at all, and this just came back to me. She's like breaking out of rocks, and she like appears. So I'm probably having a dream about the cave thing, because I thought the cave thing was cool. Remember last time I said that?
Yeah.
So, and there was like a statue of her, remember? So maybe she was coming out of that, but I remember it in my dream as a small statue. And she like reunites with this other character that's just like her, and they have a funny back and forth where they're screaming at each other and being loud. They both got pink hair, it's both fuzzy or something. This girl has pink hair, right, EliteAri?
Yeah, like purple, pink, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Same colors, girly colors, who cares?
Yeah.
Now, what? I think I was excited that she was out because she was going to help me fight somebody, EliteAri, or something. I was in danger, and then she appeared. So I'm being saved.
She's your
hero.
hero.
The rest of the dream I don't remember the context for, and what a lovely, beloved tangent to start off with. So now I recall everything that happened in these previous episodes and have separated them into what we are talking about today and yesterday. Now, you want me to recall my thoughts? I don't know, it was just more Mushoku Tensei nonsense.
True.
But also, EliteAri, in the meantime, I've gotten these comments up from last time. Amazing thumbnail, people are saying, because of your thumbnail. Up to this point, I think Kyle is just memeing us from some idiot. Thinking my opinions are so outrageous that I'm trolling with them. Yep. That's embarrassing. What did I even say last time that was controversial? Wasn't I defending the show as Jarkey Bacon shit on it?
I don't know.
Fuck loser.
I feel like everything you say is just amazing, Kyle. Don't worry. I was gonna say, was it about the bullying thing? But that was no, that was
I love that. I've been thinking about that all the time. What was I thinking about that earlier today for? Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was talking to Minty about bullying being fake again.
Nice.
All right, was I joking about? Oh, I think on stream I was joking about Rudius getting strapped to the fence again, Lament.
Oh yeah, true. Yes, you are.
Yeah, but yes.
All right.
Dip to go to the predictions first. That's the comment. Imagine doing that, missing all the good stuff. The rest of them are explaining that people don't wear armor because they've got battle aura or something. suck
Yeah.
that Jarkey Bacon.
Yep. Okay.
All right, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say. So, what do you think of these episodes, Kyle? Overall thoughts?
I don't know. It was the same shit. We got more Mushoku Tensei, 7 out of 10.
Excellent. That's all I wanted to hear. Okay, so let's start with episode 3, which, oh my god, for
Oh,
the
I
first
remember.
time, I don't
Oh,
have the
you're gonna do your
titles here.
little recap.
No, but yeah, I
All right.
believe episode 3 was Abrupt Approach. I think that's what it was called.
It was the fucking episode. We talked about this last time and speculating whether or not it would happen, what direction we would go in, and now we're all
Yeah, indeed.
fascinatingly, eagerly uh, anticipating. That's the word I'm looking
All right,
for.
let me do the recap then, and then we
Alberta.
can tell you, yeah, whether you enjoyed it or hated it. All right. So
Everybody skip forward about 60 seconds in the YouTube video while
yes,
this idiot recaps.
episode 3. So Sarah, oh, last episode, I guess Sarah was saved by Rudy.
Sarah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say Sarah, right? That's her character in my mind.
That's triggering.
So Sarah, just like Isa from Chainsaw Man. So Sarah and Rudy's relationship has improved, and she seems to have a crush on him, which I thought was actually really interesting. Because I didn't remember that like dynamic of it, but I guess in this situation,
Wait,
in
have
most,
a million things to say about this dynamic.
yeah, in most, I guess stories like this, you usually see the main character falling in love and making moves on the girl, but here you've got the girl kind of like subtly hinting at him,
No,
I guess, that he
in every
likes her. I
story,
don't know.
there's one where there's a girl that comes onto him at some point, and it's not the real girl. But do your recap.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So Sarah and Rudy, their relationship improved. Sarah and Rudy, they go on a date to buy her new knife because her old one, you know, it's getting all ragged and broken. And it's like a nice
It's
montage.
just like that date in the first season.
Yeah, it is, I
Aries.
guess. Yeah.
Remember that girl?
But with a different OP music playing here, but I thought it was really cool. Then Sarah and Rudy, they drink at the bar, and he thinks about if he should make a move, basically. And there's a whole scene there where he's like, he keeps thinking, oh my god, she's actually might be interested. And she's like, no, I can't do it. I have to be sure, you know? And she keeps doing it. She keeps giving him signals. And eventually he's like, oh yeah, why don't we go? And she's like, oh, I want to stay more. And he's like, oh, okay. And then she's like, let's go back to your place. And then, you know, he gets excited and he's like, okay, oh my god, she actually wants to go back to my place. And then they go. They go to Rudy's room. They're about to have sex, but then Rudy can't get an erection.
Excited, EliteAri.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, he doesn't get excited. So there we go. First part of the recap, Kyle.
Oh, so are you talking about this? There was other stuff afterwards in this
Yeah,
episode,
yeah,
right?
there is. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is all that matters in this whole fucking video, so let's just talk about this. Do we start with women are the worst, or do we start with I liked this even though we got cucked? Which way?
You go wherever your heart tells you, Kyle. How do you feel?
Adventure.
Yeah.
No, I'm at the crossroads. I can't.
All right, talk about women.
No,
right?
last time we were speculating. No, I decided to veer in the opposite
All right,
direction.
go
Now you
ahead.
want me to retreat and go on the other one. My goodness gracious me.
I'll cut it out. No one will ever know.
Yes, this is actually good. All right, I'm choosing the correct order. You're an idiot. Last time we were speculating, we never get fucking scenes. You know, it sucks. Also, we don't have to think about the. Well, I guess Sarah does look like she's old enough, right? She's older than Eris in my imagination of Eris, and so whatever. So we don't even have that shit going on now, where we're like, oh, pedo shit. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's probably. There's no way she's 18, right? Who cares? The as a leader, I would say
She's an adult in this society. She's fully mature. She's lived an adventurous life where she's traveled all around the world.
Should I look up Sarah Chainsaw Man? No, what's this shit show called? Mushoku Tensei age to see.
No,
don't.
Don't look up anything.
Anyway, we were speculating about how, and I was like, yeah, we're probably gonna get fucked somehow. Though Mushoku Tensei has had the sex in the past. Now, obviously, for context, Pal Entertainment loves sex. He loves fucking. He loves fucking on screen. Leo, we got to establish.
I'm very aware.
If you haven't been paying attention. We all love this. The only worthwhile reason to watch any of this fucking nonsense is for the romance scenes. We love Bigata HK, etc., because of romance. And we were doing pretty good. And oh, speaking of spoilers, I read the Crunchyroll comments, even the ones that said hidden by spoilers. I clicked that. So I didn't get it immediately, but after like 2 minutes in the episode or into their date, I realized what was happening. Because I think the top Crunchyroll comment was like, that's how you know Rudius is really depressed. Get it? Because he's horny all the time, but his dick isn't working.
Great.
So I was like, oh, notable. And then when it starts happening, I'm like, oh, this is obviously we're getting the perfect build up for the misdirect, the anticlimax. If you're EliteAri, you're trying to make a hack shitty video about this dumb series. When's the old lady showing up? We can't wait. But I liked it nonetheless. It was cute.
Okay.
The escalation was cute. It was a good romance fun for a little while also not being, because it's kind of evident that it's kind of a side romance thing. We're
Mm-hmm.
still in love with Eris and we're still marching towards that. My Roxy theory that they're both 50, so they're gonna fuck each other, and that's how the series ends without the morality questions becoming involved. I've slowly drifted away from this, EliteAri. He's probably just gonna end up with Eris, or one of them's gonna die, or some fucking
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. So just to keep up with that prediction. Now, back to the point. Women are the worst, Alita. You ever get these women, right? They're super neggy and interesting and cool. And then there's like a moment where the facade drops. I guess I'm the woman in this scenario. And
Okay.
suddenly they're just the most agreeable, nice girls, and they want everything. And that's what Sarah was doing here. Remember when she was mean to him?
Mm-hmm.
But in these silly shows, they like to portray it like, well, they're only mean until they like you, and then they're super nice constantly. This dumb Eris girl was like this too. She sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka would have been like this if she ever got to be happy, but Lamau. All these tsunderes are like this, right, Eliori? This shit fucking anime nonsense.
I
Uh,
disagree a little bit, but yeah, okay.
the funny thing is, it's probably true, right? Um, but anyway, so that was kind of because what I'm thinking in these previous episodes, like, oh, their interactions are cute. It'd be cool. I kind of wanted it to continue to be that, but she's so into him in these fucking scenes, EliteAri, that it's a little bit. It would have been cooler if she was a little bit meaner still. Now there is a little bit of ambiguity, I guess, only if you're a fucking idiot, EliteAri,
Mm-hmm.
about whether or not she actually likes him, or if she was just paying him back, or that's just her excuse afterwards. Because basically she gets mad at him because she kind of takes it as an insult because his dick don't work,
Mm-hmm.
and she thinks she's not pretty or whatever. Hashtag relatable. But it's interesting because I was thinking, is that realistic? Because that's like a comedy. That's like obviously the drama thing to do. And it's kind of the comedy thing to do too. And I'm like, is it the realistic thing to do? And that's a completely separate question. I'm not saying if it's good or bad for this, but
Mm-hmm.
there's either two ways. Either they're extremely apologetic and understanding, or they are mad and take it as a personal insult. So I guess we go with the second one. It's very convenient that it's the dramatic and funny thing to do, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
What else was I saying about this shit? It was pretty fun, EliteAri. I liked it. I did have to tab it over into picture in picture and put in the corner of my screen in case somebody was looking through my
Right.
window again. So that was interesting.
My goodness.
Um,
Okay.
anything to say about any of that?
Um, I had
'Cause I feel
one
like
thing
I'm
to
getting
say, which was the
need a
difference
prompt.
between Eris and Sarah. You said that Eris became a nice person to Rudy. I don't think that
Oh, she
really.
worships this fucking loser idiot
Yeah,
now.
but she
Oh
never
my
made
god, he's
it.
so
She never
amazing.
made it explicit to his
Boo.
face. To Sarah, it seemed
Yeah,
very
okay.
obvious. I would say they're very different in that regard. Eris's journey was also a lot slower. Sarah was saved by
Oh,
Rudy and then kind of changes pretty quickly to see him differently. I would say they're quite different in that regard.
yeah, whatever. I'm completely changing directions.
All right.
The I think even without getting spoiled by the Crunchyroll comment, you would know that obviously at some point in the scene we're going to get cucked and it's not actually going to happen. And they do a clever job, though it is kind of the generic job, to like go through it and show like, oh, this is sort of the misdirect of us fucking it up. Is like when he's having an internal monologue of like, oh, should I do something? And then he
Mm-hmm.
tries not to do it, and you're like, oh, that's how we get out of this, and they don't actually do anything. And then it goes to the next point, and then she does. There's a bunch of little moments like that where it's like, oh, he has like the internal monologue about should I do it, and you're like, oh, he's gonna choose not to do it or something and cuck us out of the fun,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera, and it keeps going like that. And then when you actually do get cucked through the dick not working thing. Also, do people get dick not working? That's called erectile dysfunction,
Mm-hmm.
in the medical community. From being depressed, probably, but for being depressed from a heartbreak, no. So that was silly. But we
Well,
don't like
okay,
realism.
that's not how they explained it, but sure.
Um,
Okay.
all right, explain to me how they explained it, but that's the only point I wanted to make.
Well, we
It
haven't
was
got there
clever
yet,
where
all
they were
right?
like, "Oh,
Um,
we're gonna fuck you over at some point. You're not gonna see it," and that was tension, leader. You ever heard of that?
yeah, I have heard of tension. Okay. So I have a few things. Let me think. Firstly, last
Explain
time in
that
our
to me. I was just
discussion,
saying.
no, well, last time in our discussion was interesting because you guys were talking about sex and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, sex is interesting because they do. It is obviously a big part now. Rudy's character going forward, his like goal is kind of to treat this, which what they refer to constantly as impotence, I guess. So that's interesting. The other thing is that when I'm watching this scene, I'm in like a weird position where I'm like, I remember reading this in the light novel, So I'm constantly comparing to, oh, what do I remember from when I read it? Is this the same? Is it good? Is it bad? Whatever. Then I'm watching the anime itself, and I'm like, okay, is this like a really cool like directing? Is it like, am I interested? Am I engaged? Whatever. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, what are Kyle and Bacon thinking of this? Like, I know,
Yeah.
firstly, Bacon even messaged me before, like, I watched it, and he just, like, sent me a thing saying, like, secondhand cringe or something, and I'm like, oh my god, okay. So I'm, like, thinking, oh, what's Bacon thinking in this
Got Jarkey
situation?
Bacon
And then I'm thinking
to
of
say.
Kyle, I'm like, oh, Kyle really likes sex. I wonder if he'll like that there's no sex, or if it's, like, what's gonna happen here? And so I have all these thoughts going through my head when I'm watching this. And I only watched this episode one. I guess I watched all these episodes once. So I don't know. Basically, it's just to me saying that I'm always in my head when I'm watching these things rather than enjoying them
Yeah.
sometimes. It's interesting.
I've definitely had similar experiences.
Yeah.
What have I made you watch EliteAri and these stupid things we've done?
I don't know, a few things.
Devilman, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually thinking about that too, I think.
Yep.
But yeah.
So
So
anyway,
you're going to explain the explaining thing.
no, we're getting there. We haven't got there in the plot yet.
He's going somewhere
But
with this, and everybody.
yeah, overall, I think so far I liked, like, up to this point in the episode, I thought it was pretty good. I still think it is very fast. And overall, I guess I should say now, in conclusion, this whole, because Volume 7 is done now, it actually ends at the end of this episode, I'm pretty sure. And Volume 7 is one of my favorite light novels, and I think it's one of my less favorite parts of the anime. I don't think they captured what made it so special to me. I think on its own right, if you don't compare it to the light novel, I think it's really good. Like, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I look forward to it every week, and I'd give it a 5 out of 5, absolutely. But what made it special to me was the emotions, was how much time we spent in Rudius's mind, which is impossible to translate into the anime, is what I've learned. They removed the Sarah point of view, which is afterwards, like, what happens is that she leaves, she gets that scene with Rudy at the end where she's like, we'll talk about it, but she gets upset or angry or whatever. Then we get a point of view chapter from her perspective of all these events, and we kind of wrap up the Counter Arrow stuff. So that was left out. That's a bit disappointing, because that was one of the saddest scenes, I think, that made me cry a lot. Essentially, when I was watching this, nothing made me cry, whereas in the light novel, I was in tears at the end of it. I thought it was
kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's, yeah.
Like, remember when you're shit talking somebody kind of jokingly to somebody else, but they overhear it? That's kind of funny. You didn't really mean it, but you kind of did, and fuck them. But actually, stop.
Yeah. But then you're depressed. Yeah, terrible.
What's she upset for? Just go fuck another dude.
Well, you know, she was already feeling depressed about, not depressed, but I guess upset about her body and her self-worth and confidence and all that. And then here she sees Rudy confirming all of it. You know, how sad. But we'll get there. So next, okay, in the recap, Sarah, yeah, she gets upset and she leaves.
A little dick and flip him off, and you'll feel better.
Well, that's basically what she did. Except for that being too harsh about him, I guess. Well, we haven't got there yet. All right, let's not talk about what he does yet. So Rudy, he goes in after this. He gets very drunk. He goes back to the bar. Then Soldat comes back in. Our favorite blonde-haired guy that you hated last time, right, Kyle?
He's fine,
Rudy punches him a bunch, and Soldat just takes it.
That scene was terrible, EliteAri. The fucking melodrama. That's the secondhand cringe that Bacon was talking about. No, it wasn't.
Maybe,
Bacon sees actually runs for the hills. But yeah, it was like the pool scene. It was embarrassing.
Interestingly, all the Soldat, I love. Firstly, Soldat's great. I love him a lot. I do think this Soldat scene was the absolute biggest mismatch between what I remember enjoying so much, and how fast it was done in the anime, and how much I just didn't enjoy it as much. I don't think I've ever been this negative in anything I've talked about. But for me, the special part about
That's Yamada's first time.
Yeah, I guess negative about something that I usually like. For me, the special thing about the Soldat scenes in the light novel were the fact that, to me, it felt like he wasn't as nice there. It kind of felt like they were still kind of opposed. They seemed a lot more drunk, I guess, which is easier to believe when you're reading than when you're actually seeing it on screen. And it kind of seemed like they were fighting a lot more. I don't know. Maybe my memory is just, I built it up too much in my mind. I don't know. But yeah, that's my thought on this.
It did come across as quick, but I kind of liked that, where it was like, yeah, obviously we're going to like each other, so we like each other now.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, yeah, so Rudy, he gets drunk, Soldat comes in, punches him, then Soldat apologizes, basically, and the two of them drink together while Rudy tells Soldat his life story, while basically crying on his shoulder. It's funny. about, yeah, he tells him about Eris and Sarah and his life up to this point. And Soldat has a genius idea. He's gonna cure Rudy's impotence by taking him to a brothel. So
I've
then,
never seen this scene before.
yep, Rudy. Have you actually seen it in like a I guess in an anime is really what this would be compared to.
I feel like I definitely have, but it's another thing where if you press me for an example, I'm gonna be like, tee I don't know.
Interesting, because it does to me it does feel very kind of unique and like I don't feel like I've ever seen like
I don't think
it's
there's ever. Well, that's not true. Go ahead.
well,
I
it's
don't know what I'm saying.
interesting in that you're going to a brothel, and it is just the fact that Rudy looks so young and is like we know that he's not young as well. It's just an interesting dynamic, I guess, which I like. It is very novel, but
These prostitute characters, especially in anime, are always trying to fuck the little kids.
sure,
But wait, what the fuck was I gonna say? I think I was. I feel like there are a lot of scenes where it's like, oh, let's get him his dick sucked. This will cure his sadness, and it never works, and it's kind of like the still sad. But I
hmm
guess in a comedy scene, I might have seen a comedy scene one time where it worked, and that was the funny thing.
sure,
Um, I guess I'm thinking about a Game of Thrones scenes or something, but I
hmm
cannot recall. So yeah. But anyway, they played it
yes.
off kind of funny in the Mushoku Tensei show we're
I
watching, where he was
I
like,
can't
"Nope, still
believe
broke."
the fact that like there is any comedy in this is just it's an absolute blasphemy to me, Kyle. I can't believe it. But I can understand why
Why
you
is there
could.
no jokes in the silly
I
light
mean, I have
novels?
no idea. Maybe there are jokes, but they don't register to me whatsoever. Like I'm so emotionally invested and like so heartbroken and sad for everyone involved that like nothing. There's no comedy for me whatsoever. Um,
I've never felt an emotion at all regarding Mushoku Tensei, so I am
sure,
a unbiased arbiter about this, and it was funny sometimes. The
yeah,
fuck, I had something to say about. Oh, I was gonna call EliteAri comedically retarded because he doesn't like any comedy
yeah. I
stuff, and
hate
he won't
comedy.
watch Atlanta even though his audience wants him to because he's a loser.
Yep.
So don't take anything he says about comedy seriously, chat. He didn't even think Chainsaw Man was a comedy for like the
No.
anime episodes or something.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, and it
But
was better
anyway.
when it wasn't a comedy, but it's still fine now. Anyway, so okay. They go to the brothel. Rudy has he goes to a prostitute called Elise, or however you want to pronounce it, who is the sister of a girl that he healed a while back. So his reputation is everywhere, you know, and she's like
Yes,
thankful
that
that
was
he
cute when
yeah.
the little knee thing, and she's like, "Whoa, well, I want to fuck you because you helped my little sister," and I was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Yep. So then they try a few things, but nothing works to help Rudy. And here we get to finally what I was saying
Wait,
earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
am I projecting a Mad Men scene onto this? Oh, Mad Men is definitely the brothel shit I was thinking about, where because they
Sure.
always go to brothels in Mad Men. Spoiler alert. There's a Mad Men scene where Pete goes to see a prostitute and he is depressed and he's like stuff and stuff. But like she does a bunch of characters for him to choose which one he likes. Like he at first she pretends to be like a little girl, and then she pretends to be like a dominatrix, and then she pretends that he's her king, and he likes that one because he's like insecure and stuff.
Mm,
That's the point of that scene, EliteAri. Spoiler alert. Did
yep.
they do that for Rudius and this girl in this scene, or am I merging them in
No,
my head?
we don't see much of it. Which I also don't remember how much
Really?
we see in the light novel, yeah. Um
Doesn't she say like, "Oh, I can do this or I can
well
do
she
this"
does
or
mention,
something?
yeah, she I think she does mention a few things. We don't see much
Okay.
of the like what things they try, I guess.
No, yeah, obviously in Mad Men you don't see that neither. There's no nudity in Mad Men. It's a proper TV show. Even
Right, right.
Jarkey Bacon would like it, except he tried and he didn't like it. What a puck loser.
Yep.
The So I wasn't making that up, and they definitely said that. So I'm a genius, and they ripped this scene off from Mad Men.
Right. When was Mad Men, I wonder?
Generic.
Cuz that would
2007 to 2015.
oh, I
This
don't
Pete
know.
Campbell, this Pete Campbell scene I'm thinking of was probably in, I think season. No, it's the season 5 episode Alexander made a video about,
Uh-oh.
which
Which one
would
copied which
be
one then? I don't know. The light novel, web novel.
2011 or something. 2011.
All right. All right.
Mad Men wins, and
Yeah.
also I'm sure this thing's been done a few times before.
Yep. All right. So nothing works.
Admin, we got it in EliteAri, can you believe
Yeah,
it?
I can't believe it. What a one day we will get an episode without
God,
it.
Max from Black Sails is so cool, EliteAri.
Thanks,
Remember how her
Kyle. I'm
monologues
glad we
always go
now
in
we got Black
threes?
Sails in here too. True. Um, actually, that does remind me of this as well. Yeah. Anyway,
Because Max was a prostitute, EliteAri, you fucking
but she was
pig.
also a very talented prostitute who
She stops being a prostitute at like the end of season 1, you pig.
yeah, true. She just runs the brothel. Okay. So
And she runs the fucking town, EliteAri, when she wins in the end.
Elise has
Spoiler
a
alert.
genius idea, Kyle. She says that based on her experience with Rudy, she thinks that Rudy is like frightened. Like he's afraid that the woman he's going to be with, Elise in this situation, is going to
She's gonna
leave him,
leave
or
him or
is
some
not going to
fucking
think he's
stupid shit.
adequate or something, or is going to hate him, or he's basically the impotence is what they say. That's not out of really out of depression. It's more out of him just a mix of emotions of fear and just
All
thinking
right,
that someone's
EliteAri,
gonna
it's
leave
time for
him.
serious
Yeah.
critique and discussion. Serially, you got to put your cereal face
All right, I'm
on.
ready.
I think a issue potentially is that I think this conflict is fucking stupid.
Okay.
Uh, Now you explained to me last time that Eris didn't tell him that she loved him. That's why she left him, right? That's why he's depressed because she just left him one day and she doesn't know why. The note was not the monologue. You remember this talk we had?
Yep.
So that's the justification for why all this works, why all he's depressed. Now, what this stupid shit show should have done is not had the monologue. Because right now I'm like, you fucking moron, idiot, piece of shit loser. I don't care about any of this. She still loves you. And you're just going to get back together in the end or some fucking shit. And so all this is pointless and boring and stupid. We should have cut that monologue so we
All
could
right.
speculate that Eris hated him too, so we could be with him or something. Now, this is also me becoming Jarkey Bacon in his absence, which has been
Mm-hmm.
discussed, because he hates miscommunication, etc., etc. So he would be screaming right now, "Why didn't she just tell him about it or something?" And therefore, we could have avoided all this. So usually, I'm defending miscommunication as a plot device for things to happen, but right now, I'm mad at it, EliteAri. Your thoughts?
Doesn't bother me at all. I think you're placing too much emphasis in the fact that you think Eris is coming back. So I don't know. I just wouldn't worry. Like if I'm when I was reading through this, it didn't like um that miscommunication meant nothing to me. I guess all it meant is that I was extra sad because I'm like, oh, if only there was communication. And the big issue is that the first time the communication was the issue because Eris didn't communicate with Rudy. Now the same issue has happened again with Rudy not communicating with Sarah. And even Soldat tells him, like, now you have your chance, run to her now and tell her what you feel, otherwise she's forever gonna hate you. And he doesn't do it. He tries
No,
to kill
that wouldn't
himself
have
instead.
worked. That's
It
bullshit.
absolutely would have worked, and
Yeah,
that's why he brought it up. And your
no,
critique of
that's
Eris not saying it to him is what's
that's
happening in this
stupid.
situation here. So yeah,
My critique of Eris in that
because
situation is
she
what's
didn't communicate
happening
with
here.
Rudy, and you're saying that if only she did,
Oh
then
yeah, she didn't originally because she obviously doesn't hate him or whatever when she leaves. She's just sad at herself or whatever.
yeah,
So they could have, but nobody's actually going to talk about that. That's stupid. Eris is
right,
obviously should have talked about him. That's not stupid. Now there was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot it. Something that EliteAri said in there that was stupid. So if you think I'm letting him get away with it, chat, just remember that I remembered, but I forgot.
true, perfect. All right, I'm
Mm.
glad I changed your mind. Okay,
It
so
sucks.
yes.
It's
Um,
fine, whatever. Who cares? But yes.
then what was it? Yeah, so she thinks Rudy is afraid of women and stuff. So he needs to find someone he feels he would never turn on. And then he thinks of Roxy, and I was like, oh my god, that's the thing Kyle always thinks about, him and Roxy getting together. Um, anyway, that's all I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
Um,
but he like loves her as like a weird maternal figure. I guess you can still fuck your mother. That's pretty cool, bro. But now it's not happening, and
sure.
I don't like it. That my prediction isn't happening. Also, did we have the talk last time about you get super horny when you're depressed? So this series is
What? I don't remember that
unrelatable
at
and a
all.
portrayal of depression. Shinji's jerking off over Asuka's body, and you're like, yeah, that's relatable, bro. He's fucking depressed. You just jerk off 7 times a day when you're home and depressed. That's what I do. I hate it.
Oh yeah, we did
I've been
have this
depressed
because then I was
recently.
like, Kyle, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. His depression is over his sexual like
Yes, I knew
issues.
we had this
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Okay, yes.
yeah.
It
Okay.
is fucking stupid. Your dick is
Yeah,
the only
Kyle
thing that
is
works.
no, that's obviously not the case. Um,
Don't people have depressed fucks all the time? Now I'm thinking of a Tyrion book scene when
Yeah,
he
now
rapes
imagine
that
if the actual
prostitute.
sex itself is what you're depressed about, then you probably wouldn't, right?
But he's not depressed about the sex. He's depressed she left. I guess he
It's
thinks because the sex
associated
is
with
so
the
bad.
sex.
This fucking idiot is so stupid.
His
This
whole life
Rudy.
is
He
about
needs to get
sex,
over it.
right? Like, remember
I
what
need to
happened last
slap
time
him.
with his
No, the
good
whole
old limp
series is
dick?
about sex.
Yeah, true.
Remember what Yig Studio said about this?
Yep.
I guess it does fit that thematic Yig Studio thing. Oh, she's saving the fucking shit series again for you, EliteAri.
Yeah, by
I guess
actually
the commitment
reading it
to
and
its
understanding
core
it, yeah.
idea is admirable.
Thank you.
Anyway, it's fine.
I'm glad
So
you
that's
like
why
the
it's good
series, but
seven.
yes. All right.
It
So
isn't. We're
Yep.
still on depression, and we're still talking about Shinji EliteAri.
Oh
I
boy.
don't know. I just think Shinji's depression is so much better. It's just like, yeah, bro, that's exactly what it's
It's a
like.
lot slower, yeah.
You're hiding. You turn up your headphones when somebody's trying to talk to you to pretend you're sleeping, so you don't react, and you hide under the covers. And then you overhear Misato crying on the phone, and you should go and speak to her or cuddle her or something because Kaji's dead, but you just don't. You go back and you hide. And when you're in a movie theater and there's happy couples, when you're at work and there's happy couples walking in and you hate them and you're very, very envious and you're just like, man, I'll never be happy again. And then you decide to be happy in the end, and that instrumentality is bad. Not this Rudius idiot. He gets to the opportunity to fuck a prostitute, and he's like, no, my dick doesn't work. My girlfriend left. Shinji didn't have a girlfriend, EliteAri.
Right. So I would say I pretty much agree with you that the depression in Evangelion is much better than what's happening in the anime. I would just say that I felt incredibly way more depressed in the light novel. That's my only defense I could say I could give. And maybe it is the pacing. I truly do think it's the pacing because Shinji's depression is obviously drawn out over an incredibly long journey, whereas this one is 3
with
episodes.
Shinji, he's like depressed for an episode, then he's happy again because something happy happens, and it's that mood thing about happiness we talk about every time in Chainsaw Man. It's reflected in Evangelion. Something good happens, you're happy. Something bad happens, you're depressed, and it happens in a cycle. But then there are extended periods. Those last like 7 episodes, Shinji's not very happy. He's killing everybody. Everybody's getting killed. Asuka leaves him. He jerks off over her. That's not in an episode of EliteAri. That's in a movie, you idiot. I don't know, depression. Everybody suffers from depression differently, EliteAri. That was supposed to be a defense, and the anime is doing its own thing, and I shouldn't be so judgmental.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
bullying
I
is
agree.
real. That's what you should have said.
Yeah, depression isn't all uniform. Anyway, so after the brothel scene.
Hold on, EliteAri, one more thing.
All right, you got this. Go ahead.
What else has depression in it? You ever seen? Oh, I guess The Sopranos. That's a lot of Shinji depression, though. It's like Tony Soprano sleeping and having crazy dreams. What have you seen that has depression in it?
What have I seen that has depression in it? Mushoku Tensei, Chainsaw Man,
There's no depression in
absolutely.
Black Sail.
Um,
No, Flint's depressed. Remember when he's rowing down the fucking river and Miranda's there after she's fucking dead? Bro?
sure,
Fucking
that
sick.
is also a
All
similar.
these
Yeah,
dumb shows try to do some wacky abstract shit in like dream sequences when their characters are depressed. You ever notice that? Game of Thrones does that. Well, I guess those books do that a lot. Huh?
mm-hmm.
So that's kind of wacky and stupid, just like Mushoku Tensei. So that's your defense now. It is weird though. Right now we're
Okay.
writing a video essay, EliteAri, which is depression in media,
Oh my
good
God.
and bad. And
I
on
would
bad,
not
I'm
want to
gonna
write
have
that.
what the fuck is Rudy's name? He's over here doing a pedo face, so that's bad because we're farming clicks. And over here we got Shinji, and he'll be good.
Yep. What is Rudius's name, Kyle?
Rudius Boris Grey Rat.
No, just Rudius
So
Gregor.
Eris is
But
the
also, I was
first
saying his old life name. You know, my God, we don't even know it.
Oh, he was making a point, and I bet he does know it because in that epilogue, there's like I guess I shouldn't say that because
Yeah,
there
no
might
spoilers.
be anime people watching.
Yep. Yeah, Kyle knows the epilogue, guys, because I made a video about it and he watched it. Okay.
Vaguely, but EliteAri will not confirm if what I remember is true. All right, it's not fair.
Yep. So Rudy and Soldat, they leave the brothel. It's already the sun is rising, which I think is a really cool. Just as like an environmental detail, I thought that was really neat. Anyway, yeah, Rudy and Soldat, they're walking through town. Sun rises. Rudy drunk. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He says, "Fuck that bitch."
Yeah, drunkenly another way of putting it is that he makes fun of Sarah's body while Sarah and Suzanne. Oh god, it was Suzanne, right? Not Roxanne. Suzanne overhears.
Oh, and then dumb Suzanne makes a dumb fucking. You shouldn't have done that face afterwards. That was the most anime thing I'd ever seen in my life, and I hated her.
Really? I don't even know what you're complaining about there. What was the issue with that? Like what?
Where she's like,
No, I know the
just the
scene.
way
Like
she
basically,
said it,
she's just
exactly.
disappointed in Rudy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most generic anime thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh, I wish your character had a little bit of nuance. And you said something that wasn't the exact carbon copy line that I've seen a million times. What if she just said, oh, Rudius, that was a silly thing to say? Or something like that. Instead, she said, what did she say? She said, I'm mad. That's
No,
not
I completely disagree. I don't think that's what she said at all, right? I thought the thing that she said was along the lines of like disappointment rather than being angry at all.
Yeah.
wait,
That's what I meant. The disappointment was what I didn't like.
Interesting. Okay, that's what I liked about it. Because I would have expected in that situation she would have been mad at Rudy, just like Sarah was, or at least
Yeah,
like
I hate it when people butt in like that. You fucking dumb girl. Oh, I hated her. She's evil now.
Wow,
She's
right.
D tier, the only D tier character. I want her dead. Why didn't she die instead of the other one?
Who died? Oh, the other Mimir. Yeah. Okay, I feel you.
Mia, that was his name.
Yeah, what a guy. Rest in peace. All right, crazy. All right, you hate Suzanne because of a line of interesting. I can't believe it. Okay, so Rudy, they make fun. Yeah. Sarah slaps Rudy, and her and Suzanne walk away, forever parting with Rudy on bad terms. Which
You
is
should
really
have slapped her
interesting.
back. Wouldn't that have been funny?
No, that would have been very out of character. But yeah. So I think the most interesting thing here is just how it is interesting how Counter Arrow was forever going to think badly of Rudy, right? Like they liked him so much, and now the lasting
Because
impression
he
is going to
made fun of
be
her boobs one time and didn't want to fuck her. Crazy.
exactly, yeah. I feel like that would be
Fuck
a
Count
really
Arrow.
yeah. Well, fair enough, yeah. And what's interesting is that when you have the light novel, you do get a chapter from their perspective. And you see what they think, and it isn't. They don't hate. The thing is, I don't remember too much of the details, but I think my impression I got was that Timothy and Suzanne both understood the situation pretty well. And even I think in the end, Sarah understood it pretty well. But
Yeah, I'm sure after they calmed down, they
like
reflected on
that's
the
part of the
situation.
it is part of the sadness, I guess, of the ending of the volume 7, which is that if only people talked, then everything could have like everyone would have been happy basically. But there was no communication. That was part of the issue. And I think that's why volume 7 works so well for me in the light novel, but doesn't here. Anyway,
Now we had a brief argument about this beforehand about how he shouldn't have run after her because I think
yeah,
that
sure.
kind of is the point because it's like, oh, you need some distance from the events to reflect on things to make sense of it, and then they can forgive each other. So I was right. If he ran after her in that moment, it wouldn't have been good.
No, I completely disagree. I think no matter what, you should continue. Like if he had just tried to communicate, if he tried harder, if he kept trying, he can go there. Even if Suzanne just heard him, like I'm sure she would. It'd be better than no one hearing him in that situation. Um,
Yeah, but
I
they got to
think
the point anyway. Eventually,
yeah,
the
but
same.
by I also don't remember the details, but I would just say by not due to Rudy's actions, but despite Rudy's actions, they managed to get there anyway. Um, like I think the best Soldat had his best interest in mind, and probably would have worked out well if Rudy had just
Oh,
gone and followed her and kept trying to explain himself to her. And even just trying to explain like
sold
what
that or
led him to this
whatever is.
point, like Soldat understands him now. Maybe if he had explained himself better to Sarah, then she would have been more empathetic towards him too. Um, yeah,
Yeah, but Soldat is a very direct person, so I feel like he would just be like, "Of course you go and talk to her immediately," but he doesn't know. He's an idiot.
sure. Yeah, but it's an interesting situation, I guess. But you know what Rudy takes from that situation? He takes the knife and immediately tries to kill himself very
That was
quickly.
funny too.
It was crazy, yeah. I actually completely forgot he did that. But yeah, it
Oh, it's
is.
like Boulder and Vinland Saga. That's what it's
Oh, it
like.
is. Yeah, you're right. That didn't even cross my mind.
I
Yeah,
remember liking the Boulder moment a little bit more. At least then you're like, oh, I guess he kind of is the problem there. And if he killed himself, the conflict would have been. But shut up, you dumb kid. You don't understand what this is. This is a stupid scene. And Mushoku Tensei, it was kind of funny how quickly he did it. So I guess I like that. And then Salat
yeah.
slaps it. That was all cool.
I thought that
As
was
a
really
concept
cool.
moment, if I was supposed to think really like, oh no, he's gonna kill himself, I was not thinking that.
Wait, obviously not. He's
Not
the
as
main
in I was
character.
supposed to believe that he was gonna kill himself, but as in I'm supposed to emotionally be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's at his lowest point, brother.
Yep.
Just find another girl. Get over it."
Yeah. See, usually I would be like harshly disagreeing
But I
with you,
love
but
her
you know what?
EliteAri.
I
I don't
also
wanna find
didn't feel
another one.
like
I
the
want this
depression at
one.
this point. I don't know. Yeah. I also was. I mean, I don't know if you're just memeing or not. I was very invested in the Sarah Rudy thing. I thought that it would be they were a great match together because it was the first time that Rudy, firstly, he met someone during his like actual growth in this world. Like it's not like he's meeting someone mixed kind of with his old personality or whatever. It's like a new person he's meeting. He met them on his own outside of his family and all that. It's
Mm.
she seemed to like him on the get go or whatever. Like it was it was interesting. I think they would have been a very interesting, very cool couple. I think, but it's a shame that it didn't work out. Anyway, yeah. So Rudy tries to kill himself. Soldat stops it. Yeah, I agree. I thought that was really the fast pace of it is what I really liked. How like you don't even get time to see what's happening. He picks up the knife, tries to do it immediately, and Soldat just intervenes immediately. I thought that was probably the highlight of this episode. Maybe it's because I just didn't have anything to
You
compare
know,
it
I
to
was
because I
saying it
didn't
was
remember it.
bad, right? So you
Well,
don't
you
agree
just
with
no,
me?
you just said that you like the speed of it because it was funny, and I'm saying I like the
Well,
speed of it because it
yeah.
was well executed.
Okay.
Right. Oh, would you have preferred it if it was slower and Rudy got a nice monologue about how he's so depressed he's
No,
going
it
to
would
kill
have been
himself?
even
Yeah,
worse if
okay.
it was that, but the concept
Yeah.
itself is the problem, I
Yeah, and
guess.
then I said that I agreed with you, because I also didn't feel the depression at that point. I didn't feel like Rudy had to kill himself, and that's because
He
of the
should have
poor
actually
adaptation
stabbed
choices in
himself,
the anime, right? Yeah,
and then Soldat saved him. That would have been cool. That's some real shit. He should have Luffy stabbed himself in the face. This fucking loser ain't no Luffy.
true. I guess I should also say at this point that I'm actually, as far as I understand, I'm in the blood a minority here when it comes to light novel readers. All I saw was incredible praise for this, about how it is almost like a perfect adaptation. It was well done. Everyone loved it. Yeah, so I do wonder if the people watching this are going to be like, wow, I can't believe he didn't
Do,
actually like it. Um,
do people generally like Volume 7, or is this an
Oh,
EliteAri opinion?
that is an interesting thing, because Volume 7 isn't in the web novel. So there are also a lot of people who have said that they're
It's
fine
not
that
even canon, bro.
some people are like, yeah, it doesn't even matter because it wasn't in the web novel. Some people are saying that it's it's okay that they rushed through Volume 7 because it wasn't in the web novel, using that as an excuse. And other people have said that, I mean, there are quite a lot of people who really like Volume 7. So I'm definitely not in the minority there.
That's why nothing happened. I see.
Uh,
I'm just joking.
no,
Please
I
don't
also,
go
no,
crazy.
no. For a second, I was like, I wonder, like, if I did just read the web novel, like, how does it go from the end of like Eris stuff to what happens next? Like, I got no idea. Because I imagine it would have gone straight to the next episode, which is the fighting the dragon stuff. That would have been a really interesting thing. Anyway, one day I'll
So
read it.
Soldat I assume is in the thingy.
Oh, actually, maybe the dragon wasn't in the web novel either, because that's like a bonus chapter,
Yeah.
I think, in the light novel. I don't know. All right. Anyway, so sold out. Yeah, at the end of this episode, sold out. We actually get some really interesting directing and stuff with some cool lighting and angles and stuff. Sold out tells Rudy to join his party, and in that situation, Rudy realizes that sold out, not Soldy, Jesus, is a nice person. Actually, we never really said it, but did you come around to Soldat more? Do you actually like him as a character? Do you enjoy watching him now? Because I know
Yeah,
last
he's
time
fine, whatever.
you were like, I hate this guy. He's the worst guy. I never want to see him. I'm nothing like him.
I remembered that I was supposed to hate him while I was watching the episodes, but I couldn't remember why. So you're lucky. You got away with one.
Perfect. All right. I
If
love
I
Soldat.
rewatched episode 2, maybe I'd. Oh yeah, it was because he was coming in and being honest and pretending he could read everybody, and that was an annoying anime meme.
Sure.
But whatever, he's fine. And now
I
he's like
think.
the best friend, cool guy anime meme.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. It is. Yeah, he is the best friend, I would say. He's not open about it. Like, I wouldn't say, if someone asked him, "Is like, are you two best friends?" I don't think he'd be like, "Yeah, we're best buddies" or whatever. But they
Yeah,
are.
probably.
So then we get in episode 3 a nice post-credit scene where Alina Lise, but I just know that it's meant to be said Alina
I
Lise,
watched
all right,
it.
Kyle, but I say Alina Lise. Where Alina
Gangbang
Lise,
Girl.
Gangbang Girl, yeah, she comes in and she hears of Quagmire Rudius taking down a stray dragon, and her ears like perk up or whatever, and that's the end of the episode. And then
I watch the end credits of every show I watch EliteAri, so I did not miss the end credit scene. Aren't you proud?
yeah, and it was interesting how for this one they had credits with like actual credits, because I think they treated this as like the end of the first
Yeah.
like.
I
Oh wait, or was it
didn't
this one, or was it the last? Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, where they treated it as like the end
Yeah.
of like a chapter or whatever. Interesting. I probably would have
think-
saved it for the next episode, maybe. I don't know.
No, stick bro, post credit scene. The
Yeah.
isn't it crazy that credits like the best part of anything now?
Yeah, it is
You ever just
interesting.
watch a movie and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, it's now the credits part where I listen to the credits music
Yeah.
and I like think about things, and it's like, oh, that's the coolest part. I watched In the Mood for Love EliteAri and I was thinking about things in the credits, and then I played that credit song for like it was such a good song, even though it's pretty simple, and I was just watching it all the time and feeling the feels, and it was cool.
Yep. I agree. I love the credits. We've talked about this in, I don't even know what was it, Black Sails maybe? I don't know. Where we talked about like the
Remember when
sitting
Black
in
Sails
the
had that song we like?
Yeah, well, that you like, yeah. Jesus, I didn't even know what you were talking about. All right. Let me go through any notes I missed out. I said
all the things.
all the yes, okay.
What do you call that? The bingo card.
Yeah. Sarah, we talked about that. I love the OP music. Rudy looking at the audience when he's like referencing Paul. I thought that was pretty funny. Rudy. Yeah, I don't know. A small like thing I liked is about how Soldat telling Rudy not to hide behind fancy words, because like Rudy has been very formal in these volumes and he hasn't really opened up, and I like that Soldat told him to do that. I thought that was really cool. What else? Criticisms should have been. Oh yeah, Soldat and Rudy. I think they should have been way more drunk. because in my mind they were like on the verge of like alcohol poisoning when I was reading. Um,
Pretty drunk,
yeah,
you
well,
know.
yeah,
I still don't
no,
know if I've ever been drunk, so I don't know nothing.
that's for the best, Kyle. All right. Um, God, God, I hate. Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
just
All
like
right.
this sober, everybody. I'm not even 3 drinks in when I'm doing
I
this
know it's
crazy
so
shit. So
crazy.
I can only imagine.
Here, like I wrote a nice summary apparently from when I watched this episode. I said it was an absolutely engaging and generally great episode. I think the issue isn't the pacing being too quick. It's literally just all the missing small details and how the light novel is from Rudy's perspective. I think that's pretty accurate, except for the fact that I think the pacing is also the issue. And my next note, my final note here, uh, it just cannot reach the highs of the novel. That's what I said. And also, why is it called Abrupt Approach? Do you have any idea, like, what this episode, why is it like a
It
joke about
sounds
something? Like,
sexual and
yeah,
something.
I don't know.
Like she abruptly approached him to sex, and that's why his dick didn't work. But that's not why his dick didn't work, and it wasn't that abrupt. We had a whole episode building up to it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, who knows? But then,
Wasn't the next one really generic, or was it the one for the preview that we haven't gotten yet? Where I was like, well, that doesn't tell me anything. Fuck you.
well, the next
What's the
episode is
next one
called
called?
Letter of Invitation. So that's referring to the
Yeah, that one
invitation to the
sucked.
University of Magic. Oh my god, what, the title or the
What's the one
episode?
after that called? No, the title.
Right.
Do you
I
know
don't
the
I don't know what
next
the next
episode's
one's called.
called?
I could look it up. Let's see.
Well, I guess I just got to look it up then.
No, 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 no,
EliteAri.
no, Kyle. I got this. I got this. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have to do nothing. All right. Season
Letter of
2,
invitation.
episode. Okay, next one is called the Renoa University of Magic. There you go.
Yeah, that one fucking sucks too.
Yeah,
I hate this shit.
yeah.
Oh,
Mushoku
we're going to
Tensei
the Magic
titles, they're not
University.
that
Oh my
good,
god.
except for the birth of my little sister, the maid. I thought that was a really cool title. But all the other ones are kind of
And
lame.
remember whatever the part one was? What was that one? The
Turning
scary one?
Point. Yeah, Turning Point.
Oh, and there was two of them. That
Ooh,
one's
yeah,
stupid.
Turning Point 2. I was gonna say. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, remember that
Man, what an
dragon dude showed
episode!
up in
Greatest
part
episode of
one?
all time. God, I hope they do some. I hope they. What can I say? I hope it's good this season. All right, I
That
want
was
to
it.
see. I want to see good episodes this season. All right.
Yeah,
Episodes
me
like
too.
that
I'm
where
sick
I'm
of these
like
bad
greatest of all
episodes.
time. No, these were great. Overall, these were great. But now episode 4. Are you ready for a recap, Kyle?
Yeah.
Soldat's party stepped leader fights some bears that were running away from a red dragon. And then Rudy fights the red dragon and kills it. Crazy. Could you believe it, Kyle? An action scene
So is
in all
this
of this.
motherfucker the strongest one of all time, or is he not? I'm sick of these situations where he looks like he's gonna lose and it's against some weak shit, and then this fucking dragon shows up and he just kills him. And I'm like, well, that's what I thought, he was strong enough the whole time. Power scaling bad. But also they said the dragon was tired and stuff, so that's why he beat it.
Sure, yeah. Was injured or something, yeah. It is interesting. I think Rudy truly doesn't have a grasp of how powerful he is yet. He's only
That's
like
a nice excuse.
the thing is, well, if you think about it, he's been surrounded by exceptional people since he was younger. Like, firstly, he
Oh
was
yeah, I
raised
wanted
in
to
a
ask
rich
the
household and
question.
everything. Yeah. Wait,
Who's
what?
gonna win in a fight? Rujerd or the new dude? Soldat.
Yeah, interesting. Wait, are you asking me, or are you just postulating that as like a what if? You
Well, I
know?
don't know. There might be an answer when they fight to the death for Rudy's
Right. Who do you
love
think
in
would win?
Volume 7. Uh, um, I don't know. Rujerd's pretty cool, bro.
hmm I guess I
But
would
that
say
fucking
that.
dinosaur dude fucked him up real quick. Hey, he was a dragon dude, not a dinosaur dude. EliteAri. Get
Yeah,
used to it.
the number 2 on the 7 great powers messed him up. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. Soldat could beat up the number 1 of the 7 great. Well, actually, the number 1 isn't the strongest one because we were doing a cool little thing with that. I remember.
Yeah, the technique god is number 1. He made the list of the 7 great powers, but the man god said that if the dragon god and the technique god fought, then the dragon god would probably win.
Oh my god, he was in this episode of EliteAri. Can you believe
Yeah,
it?
God, was I excited for that. Okay, wow, so many things to say. Firstly, I was going to say about the Rujo thing. I would say Rujo is pretty special. Like, he's one of the scariest races of the Demon Continent. They're one of the most important of Laplace's warriors in the the Laplace War. What else? Rujo, he fought against Laplace in the final fight with all the legendary heroes. So I'd say Rujo is pretty special in terms of his like strength, I guess. Then I was going to say that the comparison here with the red dragon is interesting because the first time we saw a red dragon was against Dragon God Orsted, where the red dragon like shows up in front of him and he like looks at him and then he runs away because there's a little scared dragon thing. I thought that was cool. Anyway, so they beat the dragon. Then while eating breakfast, a bard is telling the tale of the great battle between Quagmire and the Red Dragon. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool, and Rudy's enjoying it. But then the people listening are fed up and they're bored with the story. They've had enough. The story is ruining their drinks, and I'm like, wow, this is great.
They're just like me for real.
Yeah, you've had enough of all these stories, these grand tales. Elinali's Dragon Road finally meets Rudius Greyrat. Can you believe it, Kyle?
Dragon Road, is that her last name?
Indeed it is, I believe. That'd be funny if I got that wrong.
Girl.
Yeah, so what an interesting pair these two are.
They were fun EliteAri.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so
You're
they
still fucking guys, that was good.
I just want to know, what was your first impression when she showed up? Did you think that they were gonna have sex? Is that what? Because when I was reading for the first time, I remember
getting fucked again.
I remember thinking
the cute love interest. It's not working for the whore, and you know, in Japanese media, we hate the whore characters. So I was like, they're not going to do her justice. This is pathetic.
It is interesting because she was set up in season 1 as being all about sex, and being like an expert kind of. Yeah, and now when she shows up to Rudius, who is having issues with sex. It is really interesting because to me, when I read it for the first time, I was thinking maybe this is like the sex expert who could actually know a way to help Rudius.
It's not a sex issue, EliteAri.
Indeed, it's not. But it is interesting to pair such a sexually oriented character next to Rudius, who is having issues with sex. Anyway, back to the recap. Yeah, so they meet
already.
What did you say?
I said already we're back to the recap.
Oh, sorry.
I guess we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will. Because I have a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, the band starts playing music for them when they start talking to each other. That was funny. And the men are like hiding behind the wall, and they got like plants they're holding up to try and blend in, and they're trying to eavesdrop on them. Because Elinali is just like the most beautiful woman they've ever seen in probably a long time. So in this conversation, yeah, she is. We find out that Elinali is an elf. Just like Sylphie was. So that was pretty cool. And she has like a little fancier version, like a fancier charm than the really crude one that Sylphie made for Rudy. So it's like a little culture thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that. So that's what that was about. So
yeah, it's like elf. Yeah, like elves have like.
So they had an elf and a dwarf. Remember last time when I asked if the little dude was actually a dwarf, and I was like, "That's stupid."
Sure.
Now I get it. It's a joke.
Indeed. Well.
So elves can fuck humans and make kids or not? Oh, is that how she never gets pregnant, or is it just magic?
It's an interesting question. A very interesting question. I don't know, Kyle. Maybe I do know.
They all look pretty humanoid. Can you fuck the horse dude and make a human son?
Who knows? He does have children. Maybe do you think his wife is a horse? Like, I don't know. I got no idea.
Yes. A horse.
Oh, very funny, Kyle. Look at you. You're a comedian. Okay. So Elinali tells
Rudy... Did Ilvalis fuck Paul or not? That was all I guess we
never know.
Probably what's happening here is that she doesn't fuck the clan mates or their kids. So none of our interesting characters. She's probably not fucking the dwarf. They didn't seem like they were fucking. She doesn't seem to be fucking Roxy. You know, she's straight or something. Yep. Also, Roxy is 12. Actually, she's 50, EliteAri. It's okay.
Yep.
But she's fucking a bunch of random dudes and sold out. That was a great gag.
Yeah. And she's paying them. Crazy.
Yeah, she pays them, and then Rudy was like, "Oh, so that's how she gets away with it," or something stupid, and it was funny.
Yep.
What was she paying them for, EliteAri?
So that they don't develop feelings for her.
That always works.
True. Okay.
But yeah, okay.
So they're talking in a bunch of information. So basically, Elinali tells Rudy that Zenith is in the labyrinth city of Ruppa, near the center of the Bagaric continent, and Rudy says that that's about a year or so a journey away if they were to travel by foot. And she says,
"Fucking idiots can't fly, EliteAri. You ever think about that? Instead of walking around on foot so we can have a plot."
That is one of the things I like about this story. How it is like a lot of it is traveling.
Isn't like, the coolest thing of all time DBZ dudes flying though, EliteAri? Isn't they put their little hands out? Don't you wish you could do that?
That's a different type of cool, I think. Yeah. Man, when Videl learns to fly, oh my god, it made me feel like I could fly. You know?
Oh my god, I love Videl. Remember when they were flirting for like 20 episodes in high school? Oh, that's the greatest DBZ arc of all time. And then there's that other girl, and she makes fun of him for knowing the secret, but it's actually that he's got teddy bear undies. But too bad Gohan fucking sucks because he's an adult. But anyway, Videl's the best. And then they cut her hair. I'll kill Gohan, but that's besides the point.
And then Spopovich and Yamu, they beat her up. God, terrible.
No, only one of them.
Oh, sorry, Spopovich.
Spopovich?
Yeah.
Poor Yamu never got a cool fight like that.
Yeah, that was a shame. He just got blown up, right? My god.
Remember how Spopovich had a villain flashback where Hercule beat him in the
Yeah.
previous tournament? That was pretty cool.
What a
DBZ's the greatest of all
God!
time.
That tournament was the
Uh,
best tournament in all of Dragon Ball Z. My God. Um,
no, all the other ones are better, but it's
no,
pretty
no,
good.
I love that one. So and then Piccolo talking about, oh my God, I'm freaking out. This guy, he's the
This is a
Supreme Kai.
Kyle
Oh my
Entertainment
God,
talking point. Don't
it's
you
so
dare
great.
say this to me.
And Vegeta's
Yes, of
like,
course, it's a
what's
great
going on? Oh, it's so good. But back to the Mushoku
Anywho,
Tensei, Kyle.
Bang Bang Girl.
Yeah, so Alina tells him that
Eva Lise or whatever is a great name. What is it? Alana Lise?
Alina Lise. So
I'm not saying that.
she says, you know why I say Alina Lies? Because the audio version of the novel that I read used an AI voice, and they read out her name as Alina Lies. So that's how it's in my
Oh
mind
my
now.
god,
Same,
EliteAri says everything. That's
but
nice.
I say Ghislaine. However, in the light novel they say Ghislaine or something like that, and I'm like, I can't say Ghislaine. Man. It's
No, we
pretty
don't like
weird.
Jizzin over
Yeah.
here. She's no good.
Yeah. Anyway, so she says that Rudy doesn't need to rush over to the Bagaric continent because Paul and
Oh, this bitch is
Roxy have
getting
teamed
tortured,
up.
EliteAri. It's gonna be funny when they show up. That's what I was gonna say.
Interesting. Is that what you
Zenith
think?
we're talking about. Obviously, she's in a labyrinth that we're not in a rush to go to, and when we get there, we're all going to be very mad at ourselves for doing side quests, and she's going to be dead when we get there, and it's going to be like, oh, you could have saved her. Something terrible is happening to this mother. I don't know if we're raping. We only mention rape, and then we cut all the other rape things from the light novel, so I don't know if Zenith's getting raped. But something
Sure.
bad's happening to her in this fucking dungeon. Or they're
But
like
how
fire
could?
punting her for her quirk.
Well, we've got
EliteAri
Paul and
doesn't go,
Roxy.
you go,
They've
Kat.
teamed up and they're going there, and they're gonna. They're
Yeah, they're
probably.
going to be dead
I guess
too.
Alina says that they've teamed up and have probably reached Bagaric by now. That's kind of the information she gives him.
Now, Paul didn't seem like he was going to fuck Roxy, remember? Because I even said that at the beginning, like, oh,
Sure.
Paul, why isn't he trying to fuck Roxy? And that was before I knew he was a whore and he was fucking the maid.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying whore a lot this episode, EliteAri.
Yeah,
I
what's wrong
love
with you?
sex workers. I am sex positive. Gangbang Girl is my favorite character because of it.
I love Alina, right? So
God, what a name.
Yeah, indeed. Rudy decides to stay in the north for a while. If Paul and Roxy are there, then he has nothing to worry about. Then Rudy, basically after this, we get that like meeting scene. Then we get a nice montage, basically, of Rudy learning that Alina is slutty as hell, is the way he puts it. And we spend some time fleshing out their relationship. Yeah, but Rudy's he's thinking it in his mind, all right? He never said it out loud, so it's okay. Oh yeah, so basically Alina and Rudy are neighbors, and she is always having sex with people when Rudy can't get an erection and is just stuck in his bed with a noisy person next door. And we find out Alina pays people for sex in exchange for not getting serious about her. Then after this montage of them getting to know each other pretty well, Rudy receives a letter of invitation, which is the title of the episode, from Vice Principal Genius of the Renoa University of Magic, extending him an invitation as a special student. So that means
He better find a college girl to fuck is all I'm saying, EliteAri. I'm sick of this cucking shit. That's the first thing I thought about. I'm not even making a joke. And I was like, this could be a good vehicle for that. We've got to do some fucking boring magic shit, but sure.
Yep. Well, the thing is that because he's a special student, what that means is that he doesn't have to take lessons and he doesn't have to pay tuition. And
yeah, so we don't have to spend too much time there.
He can. Yeah, so special students can conduct research as they see fit. Is basically what the role of a special student is, and they talk about the dynamics of how
he's going to be fucking a professor, is what you're telling me, because he's not going to be with the students. I understand. Yeah,
maybe. So the university, they want to get special students so that and they give them free reign and everything so they can build their reputation. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And they like look out for people with like big mana pools or like any special things they can cast. It's pretty neat.
Incantationless magic or something, he said.
Yeah, indeed.
Didn't we meet somebody else that could do that? Wasn't that already a thing?
So we've seen Sylphie can do it.
Oh, that's right. Right at the beginning.
Yeah, it is interesting how
what was that about, huh? She get
no. I wasn't even thinking about Sylphie. I was talking about because I was thinking like there's you would expect that Dragon God Orsted would be able to do incantationless magic, but even he was like saying like disturb magic and like using his things like that. So
but that's because he's cool and saying it was cool.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, Rudy could say it if he wanted to. He just has it easier not to. Anyway, so Rudy, after receiving this letter, he decides
He
that he
interviews some
will.
dude.
No, he decides he is going to go help Paul save Zenith. But then Elite comes and she's talking about how, nah, you don't need to go. I don't like Paul. Blah blah blah. Talking to that guy. I thought that was great. That poor guy. My God, he doesn't know what's happening. Then at night, or not at night, Rudius is visited by the man god for the first time in 2 years. Could you believe it, Kyle? Did the comments spoil this one? Did you read the Crunchyroll comments?
I definitely did read the comments. I cannot recall what they said though. It was probably just them saying, "Is this what it's like to be around for Peak? I love Peak."
Oh, that's
I'm
so
gonna kill
awesome.
fucking Crunchyroll commenters. I hate these fucking idiots.
No, they're great. I remember I did read a few of them because I was like, oh, what's it like being Kyle watching these episodes? And I remember going and reading them, but I got nothing from them. No, nothing too interesting. But yeah, so the man god.
You gotta go to the Eris fucking episode.
Oh
Read those
god,
comments. Now that's some entertaining shit.
yeah, that'll be. I don't
They're at
know, Kyle.
war.
Yeah.
It's so funny because they clearly don't have downvotes or something, or maybe they do, but every opposing opinion would have a big one saying everybody else is retarded. This
Yep.
is obviously terrible, and that would have 500 upvotes. And then the one right
Yep.
beneath it would be the exact opposite, 500 upvotes. It was
Yep.
great.
God,
But yeah,
disagreements
what
are
were you
awesome,
saying?
aren't they?
Crunchyroll comments.
No, I was just saying I was reading them. It was interesting.
I got
I'm always
YouTube, but I'm
scared
waiting for
that
you to finish your
I'm
recap.
scared that one day you're gonna read a comment and it's gonna be like a novel spoiler. It's gonna like spoil a massive thing. I don't know. But anyway,
Every time I open that stupid video of EliteAri's that has 100,000 views, I scroll down and I'm like, what if I just read it?
don't you read them,
And
my
I read
God.
they're usually paragraphs, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to fucking read this shit. I just want to see Eris died Lamau and be like, oh,
It
that's
honestly,
good.
it'd probably be better to watch the video than read those comments because those comments spoil more than my video does, I think. So yeah, but don't do any of them, all right? Anyway, so the man god, one thing he does is put Rudy's growth in context, which I thought was interesting. Like he says how Eris ran away from him. His little guy was useless with Sarah. His spell casting is only a little better than a few years ago. He practices the sword every day, but has nothing to show for it. Is he really a student to be proud of? And I thought that was interesting. Because it really is that we haven't seen Rudy do like grow much at all, have we? Like what have like he's basically the same as we saw him last season, especially when it comes to magic. Have we? Oh no, I haven't even. I was gonna say I had something to say about the dragon fight. The dragon fight is really interesting in that he uses the stone cannon again. Like the way he stops it is that he puts it in the mud. Oh, I guess firstly, like he summons these spiky rocks and shoots it at the dragon. Then he like traps it in the quagmire, and then he like gets a nice rock and like drops it on it. It's really what's really interesting about Rudy is that he doesn't have any big spells, but he's mastered the stone cannon. And the sad thing about the anime is that we never see him mastering it. Whereas in the light novel, you get like all these chapters of him like practicing how to master the stone cannon. Like he's talking about how if I make it smaller and if he makes it like a different shape, it'll like be more like a what do you call those special hollow point bullets or whatever. And he gets really good at it and he can kill anything with it. And finally, he uses it against Dragon God Orsted, putting like a bunch of effort into it, and like spinning it and adding all these mutators or whatever. And he actually does harm against the Dragon God on his hand. And it's really interesting to see him rely on that spell so much and seeing him use it against the dragon and even take down a dragon. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway. Okay.
Magic and stuff.
Sorry,
There
that
is
was my
an
tangent
interesting
about
point
that.
here where it's like, obviously, we don't give a fuck if he's better at magic. We just want to see him and Roxy meet again. So it's like, who cares if you're a good student that she's going to be proud of? We just want
Yeah.
to see you hug and be like, oh my god, we're back.
Yep.
So they're cucking us again to make us go to some fucking university where she's not going to be at. And then when we
Yep.
meet her, she's going to be with Paul. Ugh, I fucking hate Mushoku Tensei.
Yep, true. Yeah, you know what? Let's just leave it there. Okay. So
That we haven't seen that yet, by the way, is why they're dead in a dungeon somewhere, and we got to save them when we show up. But I'm just putting the plot together. You know, I'm a genius. Keep going, EliteAri.
Yeah, it is interesting. I've said that a million times. It is interesting, Kyle. But truly, it is. All right. Not seeing the
Yeah, I say a lot of
perspective,
interesting
letting our minds wander, like what could be going on there, while Rudius dismisses it from his mind. So the man god gives Rudy a piece of advice, you know, as he always does. Enroll in the Renoa University of Magic. No, enroll in the Renoa University of Magic.
And the plot will happen.
No, there's even more to it, Kyle. And investigate the mass teleportation in Fitoa there. Do this, and you shall regain your manly potency and pride. So what do you think is going to go on there, Kyle? Why is he researching the mass teleportation in Fitoa?
Well, obviously, now this actually does get into my overall point that I've had in my YouTube. No, not my YouTube, my Google search bar, so I don't forget it. You see, it
Mm-hmm.
says overarching plot, and then it's a dash and a dash next to it because I was making it pretty because you were talking about magic or something.
Sure.
Mushoku Tensei, this silly little show. Overall plot, it's kind of lacking. We're not going somewhere. There's no Gun Devil to beat up or Naruto to become Hokage, etc., etc. At some point, we decided we were going to find our family.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of tangentially doing that at the beginning of the first season. And now we're like, oh, we could go and find the family, or we could do another side mission. Now, this is not a criticism. The side missions are pretty cute and stuff and whatever. And I'm no plot bro leader. You don't ever accuse me of being that. We'll have
Of
problems.
course.
So obviously going to the so we've got little loose things. There's really no reason for us to be here in this fucking Mushoku Tensei world besides these little things, and they don't feel like big overarching plot things.
Mm-hmm.
The mass teleportation, whatever, and the little bits of lore of the big bad guys from the past and the good guy in the thingy from the thingy and his servant that we still haven't met, etc., etc. We've got fallen demon girl Lolly over here. These are all little drips of like, oh, these feel like overall plot things, like these are all going to convalesce into the eventual plot, whatever it is. So obviously we're sprinkling these things in to be like, oh, so it is an interesting divergence point where it's like, so what is the more important plot thing? Is it going to find Zenith or is it looking into this fucking teleportation thing?
Mm-hmm.
Now one will probably lead to the other. That's how stories usually work. They usually consolidate, etc., etc. So it's interesting that we're going to do the research first, which would seem
Mm-hmm.
to indicate that Zenith is more important. But Zenith's probably being held by the dude that did the teleportation thing, and he did it just so he could get Zenith or some fucking plot thing. Paul's not actually important. Zenith's actually the important one. And it's actually Zenith's dad. My goodness, think of the plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your grandfather moment where we're referencing Star Wars. EliteAri, that's why he likes this shit show, because he likes that other shit movie series.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of shit shows with that, I'm pretty sure. Etc., etc. So overarching plot in Mushoku Tensei is an interesting thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I'd completely forgotten that at the magical university we were investigating the thingy. All I was thinking about was college girls. So that kind of undermined my point because I was going to say, oh, we ain't doing nothing when we're going to the magical whatever the fuck. This is another dumb tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go find Zenith. But now I figured it out. It's going to lead to the other thing.
Right,
Overarching
right.
plot.
So it's
Lamau.
all tying together, is what you're saying.
Did you ever have a problem with this, EliteAri? Why were you continuing to read Mushoku Tensei when you first started? Well, you watched this fucking anime first because you're a literate fucking moron.
Yeah, you know what, Kyle? I watched the anime and I got to the end when not Roxy, Jesus, Eris leaves Rudy, and I was left with an unparalleled sadness that has only ever happened with like Steins Gate and like one other thing. I don't know.
What were
So
you sad about in Steins Gate, you big pussy?
I was sad that we were never gonna see these characters again, Kyle. All right, and I was even wrong because we did see them again in Steins Gate Zero, and it was even better than Steins Gate.
What about the Steins Gate OVA at the end where we meet Daru's wife? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that was different, Kyle. All right, it's not the same type of story as Steins Gate.
No, it really was because it was like even more progress on Kurisu and Okabe falling back in love, you know, so it was perfect.
Very true. But yeah, I was sad when I finished Mushoku
God,
Tensei.
remember our Steins Gate? Oh my goodness!
What a
Remember
series,
when I
Kyle, what a
decided it
series.
sucked a few years ago when I
You're
was
an-
like,
you're a
I haven't
fool.
rewatched it in a while. It was probably terrible.
You know, it is legitimately great. And then Shabes watched it, and he talks about how
God,
it's so
I have
mid.
to rewatch that show before I leave EliteAri. That's like a quintessential show that I haven't watched in so long. You know, I watched all of it in one day one time because when I was like
Jesus.
15, I decided that I wanted to rewatch a bunch of my shows all in one day because I was obsessed with trying to make like my Sundays memorable because I was sick of having forgettable Sundays that didn't impact anything.
That's awesome.
So I was like, if I rewatch all of Attack on Titan in one day, I'll remember that day forever. And I did do that, but it was kind of miserable and not a good idea. Though it was kind of interesting. I remember getting to like the female Titan stuff and be like, "Oh, this is fucking sick, bro! This is the greatest anime of all time." That's insane. I watched 25 episodes of anime in one day, but it was all
crazy.
rewatches. That was probably the last time I watched either one of those shows. Absolutely. So I burnt myself out on them forever.
Yep.
Now I don't remember if I actually finished Steins Gate. I think I got like 16 episodes in because I did it after Attack on Titan. And I was like, whatever. Now, this is a wonderful tangent for our Mushoku Tensei video, but fuck, I gotta rewatch Steins Gate, huh? I actually think I might do that. You've given me a brilliant idea. I gotta watch Reality this first time. I gotta make 4 videos. I gotta do. Oh, I got less. I got a month and 10 days.
Yeah, forget about leave Steins Gate in the past. Take it
me
with
to
you.
watch
Watch
this
it on the
fucking-
plane. All right. There you go.
No, that's a completely different thing. If we're watching, I can't listen to any songs in like that last week because they'll forever be tied to sad things about just don't worry about me and my mental mindset and how I think of things, right?
Yeah, okay.
I can't. The Berserk reread is finished because I can't half start it here and then do it over there, right? That's fucking crazy. You're fucking lunatic. You're
Yeah, true.
fucking with me right now. But I guess I'll be watching Mushoku Tensei over there, huh? Oh
Hmm.
shit, how am I gonna hide that from everybody? The audience has no idea where I'm going, so fuck them and they don't get context for
Yeah.
this
Maybe
instead.
they'll be anime fans, you know, that'd be great. Probably
They
not though.
definitely will be a bunch of fucking nerd loser idiots.
That's great. Okay. Back to the man god.
I will not be telling them that I like anime. Continue.
That is the you're insane. Oh my god. Will you
That's
tell me you
tying it
like
back
Mad
into
Men or something? Like
our tree. Oh yes, I'll be telling them to watch Man. And Man's cool.
yeah. And anime's for
Anime's not.
losers,
Anime
yeah.
sucks.
True, true.
Yes, for nerds and fucking losers that
And
I don't like to
YouTubers, yeah.
associate.
Good. All right.
Yes.
So
I hate making videos about it.
Rudy talks to the man god. The man god gives him that advice, and then the man god floats into the sky, and there's like a yellow beam, and is going like,
It was being funny.
he said, "Yeah, it was great.
He
I
was
thought that was
ignoring
great."
him.
And Rudy just sees him as a savior. Like, this is the man. He told me that that I'm gonna get healed. My potency is gonna come back. Blah blah.
Oh yeah. He's being an
Anyway.
idiot, a simp for this man god. Oh my god, there's gonna be such a cool moment one day when we're dead. Well, this is
What?
gonna happen in our Zenith arc. We're all dead. Paul's dead in the corner. Roxy's dead over there, and suddenly the man god is gonna manifest into the actual story, and he's gonna be like the superpowered dude. He's gonna save us. It's gonna be so sick. I can just see it now.
Oh, that's.
He'd be like, "Oh, he was so funny and goofy."
Yeah. Man, you should. I don't know. No.
Turning point
I'm
four
mumbling,
is what
Kyle.
it'll
I'm
be.
mumbling. Because
Who
there's
knows?
so many
Who knows what
details
3
in
is
the
gonna
light
be?
novel that I love so much. One of them is about like the man god. Like even in the first scene you get of him,
He's doing push-ups because he's super
no, like
strong.
you get details of his description and stuff, and like Rudy.
Is he a CGI white dude?
No, actually, I don't know. Anyway,
He's got a beard.
we'll talk about this one day when we get to the end of the
Such a cock.
yeah. When we finish the entire story and then we go back and read the whole light novel, we'll talk about all that stuff, all right?
Yeah, you'll be reading fucking books too if we're doing that.
True. No, I'll listen to the audiobook. Okay, so Rudy
God,
decides to head
babies.
to the University of Magic. He parts way with Soldat, who says that they'll see each other again one day. And Rudy... Oh, Soldat, I thought this was the best part of this episode, Kyle. And you probably thought it was cringe and terrible, as you always do. Soldat gives Rudy a little push, all right? And Rudy is like, he almost like stumbles over, and he keeps going. And I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. What a cool... I love the anime. This is better than the light novel. Oh my god.
Genuine. That's like... hiding genuine emotion by something mean, which is pushing. So I like that.
I thought that was the best part of these
episodes. Or
episodes.
something, I would have killed myself.
True.
Ever heard of Paul? What a fucking loser.
True. What a beta male. Yeah. God, what a video I made. Oh god, I get all these comments on that Paul video. We'll talk about this after the video. All right.
Is Paul a beta male? Is that the
no, like everyone is like hating Paul. And that's not even the point of my video to like defend Paul. Whatever. Anyway.
Is this in the Norn video or in the Paul video?
No, in the Paul, whatever, the scene you forgot about Mushoku Tensei, whatever. All the comments are always talking about how this is a good video, but you completely missed the point about like Paul and he's actually blah blah blah, and they give like really long explanations about how Paul is actually in the right, Paul is actually in the wrong, sorry, and Rudy's just a child, even though he's not a child. And they give nice reasons, and I mostly agree with them, but they miss the point that the video was to talk about how this like scene in episode 2 was so important, and I don't really care, and it was just added on that I talked about Paul in the end, but it's not that important.
Is it like the comments explaining that there actually are badass women in Black Lagoon, and that I'm an idiot?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
But they are. The thing is,
the video's about,
no,
you fucking retard.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're also right. You know, like so. I like reading their comments.
Yeah,
they're good to read, but it frustrates me because that's not the point of my. They think I'm an idiot because I missed it, but I didn't. You know, like it's just not the point of the video.
Yeah, they're on layer 1, EliteAri. They're big fucking moron idiots.
And they get to me, Kyle. They get to me, right?
They're fucking telling me something.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate YouTube commenters, all of them, even you. Yes,
yeah,
you.
True. No, I just leave comments saying great video, Kyle. That's what I say. Anyway.
Yeah, I hate those ones even more.
So, then we get after the push from Soldat, we get a teaser for the upcoming episode or characters, I guess. So we see. Do you remember any of the characters we see? I guess,
oh my goodness, EliteAri! I forgot about this completely, but I remembered I had to bring this up. Was that the fucking cat girls or whatever that were friends with Eris? Was that them or somebody that looks like them?
I guess we'll see. I don't want to say anything. I don't know. How long has it been since then? I guess a few years, quite a few years.
There were 2 other flashes. There was one other one that I thought I was supposed to recognize, and one other one that I was like, okay, I think this is just a new character. This is like the Vinland Saga thing where we're seeing Hild 3 episodes, 3 seasons.
Right.
See her. That's funny. But I don't recall.
All right, let me describe some of the people we see here. So we see
Yeah,
two
hurry up.
Beast
Send me an
girls. We see we also see Ariel, Sylphie, and Luke. But we knew they were.
Yes. Oh yeah, because they went away to avoid assassination. Did they go to the magical thing and I'm just forgetting?
I don't remember if they said it in the early episode, but they are true. They are there. We
They
do
said
see
they were
them there.
going somewhere. Oh, and we saw the figure dude.
Figure
But
dude?
yeah, because I
Oh,
think in the
Zenoba, yeah.
trailer,
Which is
I
interesting.
think in the trailer, I think we saw Sylphie and Rudius in scenes together in the trailer, so that's cool. Okay, we're getting them now.
I
And these
don't.
Asakas and shit.
Okay, I'll let you believe what
All
you want
right,
to
if that
believe.
didn't happen, you're not
No,
supposed to
I'm not saying
confirm that,
nothing. You
EliteAri.
can believe whatever you want to believe.
Well, I guess they weren't,
No,
Chad. I'm
don't take
sorry.
anything from my outbursts. All right, I don't know nothing.
Well, I guess they are, Chad.
No.
I'm sorry.
All right, whatever. So yeah, we do see Zenoba Sharon, the second, third prince,
Oh,
fifth
Rudius
prince. I don't
fucked
even
the
know.
queen girl. She was cool.
Huh? What'd you say? The Rudius prince?
Rudius is gonna fuck the queen girl or the princess
Oh,
girl.
Ariel. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Wasn't that his cousin too, though, or something?
No, the boy Luke Greyrat is his some cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like first cousin or second cousin or something. Yeah.
I guess he can fuck him too if he wants, but fuck the queen girl.
Yeah. Okay. You know what's funny here? Zenoba's here, but do you know why he's here? Do you remember? What's funny about
him
this?
and his friend got exiled to something or
Yeah,
something.
they got exiled under the pretense of like studying abroad. And when I remember, I think when we went through that, I played it off, I guess, or maybe I don't know, maybe I don't remember, but it sounded like it sounded like it was a joke, like they not a joke, but like they're not actually studying. It's like they're under the guise of like they're being banished, but the official story is that they're studying. But the funny thing is they actually are studying. So they went to the university. Anyway, at least Zenoba.
Oh, so they both went together. Interesting.
Well, we just saw Zenoba, so
yeah.
we don't know what happened.
But
to
you let
Pax.
that slip, EliteAri. How embarrassing! You're spoiling things.
Yeah, don't read too much into things I say, Carl. Sometimes I'm really good at hiding.
EliteAri, shut up! I got a pun. He's really studying a broad, as in the figure of that broad rock.
Very, very funny, Kyle. You're the funniest, aren't you?
Then there was like a girl that we weren't supposed to recognize, right, EliteAri?
So we saw. Let me see my list here. A girl. She was drawing circles and stuff. So that would probably who you're talking about.
Gudrid, remember in that one scene in Vinland?
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you made a shit video about that scene.
What a scene! My God. Yeah. And we also get two other characters, Kyle. We get a guy with dark hair, who you should remember from the OVA because his name is Cliff.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this little cock.
Yes, okay, excellent. I was hoping that you would remember him.
Oh, I hope he fucks Eris and then he flips Rudy off or something. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm actually a kid pedo. Kill yourself. He's flipping him off.
Wouldn't that be crazy, Kyle? Wouldn't that be crazy? But we see one more character.
He have a friend or something?
He had a let me be careful with what I say. Yeah, he had a blonde guard of the there was a blonde guard girl.
She was a hot girl, right, EliteAri?
Wait, now am I don't know if I'm giving away. Wait, let me think. God, there was so what happened? There in that OVA there was the guard and the blessed child, and then there was the other people fighting, and then what's his name showed up, Cliff and Eris, and then they fought, and then they killed all the people attacking the blessed child, and then the blonde woman and the blessed child go away on a horse, and Cliff hides his face with the mask. So I don't think the blonde woman was his. They're not related. They're not.
I think forgot about the blessed child, and I thought that was Cliff. So
no. So I'm pretty sure that the blonde woman wasn't his guard, but they he hid his identity from her because she would know him or whatever. Anyway, all right, I'm glad that all tied up. But we also meet in this this montage here. We have a man with dark skin with like 6 arms or whatever, and he has purple hair and he's like drinking.
Yes, I remember seeing
that guy as well. So those are all the characters, Kyle.
I feel like I saw him in the trailer or somewhere else. So
probably. He actually, no, I'm not gonna say anything. All right, so notes. Let me see. I thought the directing of this episode felt like they put special attention into it. Rudy, the stone cannon thing I talked about. Oh, Rudy is starting to, I don't know if you've noticed, he is growing up. Like, he looks different now. Like, I think since last episode, he's got like a redesign and stuff. And
but I already saw that in the trailer later.
Sure. Cool. I think it's interesting. He starts looking a lot more like Paul.
Yes, he's got his Paul haircut. I thought
that was great.
He's a grey rat. You ever think about that one?
Oh, that is funny. I didn't realize that. Kyle, see, this is why we have you here, for all these genuine insights into things.
You know, my
Um,
brain's bulging right now.
yeah. So, another note: Lionelize. Oh, okay. I think Lionelize and Rudy are a really interesting pair. Like there's throughout this entire story, we're gonna get a bunch of pair ups, I guess, of characters. I think they're one of my favorites. Um, just how different they are and how you wouldn't expect a Lionelize to be more featured, I guess. Like in the first season, she did come across as kind of more like a jerk character, not much
Yeah,
stuff going on, but she
she's a
is more of the character.
one-dimensional gag.
Yeah,
Gag character.
yeah, very funny, Kyle.
Pretty
Um,
funny.
and that's all my notes, Kyle. So unless you have anything to say, then I just want to know what you
Oh
think's
my
gonna happen
god, I
next
shouldn't
time.
have pissed then, Chad. We just had a piss break, but we were
And
actually
they'll
at the
never
end.
know because I cut
They
it
keep
out.
the part in where I interrupted you and said that I was going to piss, and then just cut to me coming back.
Yep.
We're keeping it all in because it's funny.
All right.
We're meta like that. No, what's that called? Self-referential? Sort of where
Clever.
what does it mean when you yeah, we're just clever. That's a
Yeah.
good word. Where we iterate on ourselves. I don't know. Fuck you. Uh
Predictions.
Mushoku Tensei, baby. Predictions. So we're meeting these fucking cat girls. I don't know how the fuck they got the money to transfer to this fucking thingy. Isn't that a whole continent away? That's gonna be crazy. Was Eris teaching them magic or swords or something? I don't know.
Yeah, swords, sure. Yeah.
It'll be funny because Rudy didn't really interact with them at all, so it'll be a fresh thing. Oh my god, they're gonna be like, yeah, we were talking to Eris last week, and she said, I hate Rudius. He's got a little dick, and it didn't last long enough, and Rudy's gonna get even more depressed. Then he's gonna see another pretty girl from college, and he's gonna fall in love.
All right.
Who else was there? This big giant dude with arms. He was eating Japanese food. I noticed that, so he's like Japanese or something. Um,
Wait, do you think
who
he's
else was
from?
there?
He's actually like a reincarnated thing, like Rudy. That'd be awesome.
No, he's literally there is a place
Oh, there's a
called Japan
Japan.
in the
Okay,
Mushoku Tensei world,
sure. Okay.
and they all have superpowers. If you had watched the Guilty Gear PCP lecture,
Oh
you
my
would
god.
understand that
Yeah,
that is
I
a
watched
reference
10 minutes
to
of
that and
that.
how
Right.
joking it was. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. He doesn't
If
know
I
what good shit is. He
understood the
likes to be from
content,
Tensei.
I would have watched that. All right. I just had no idea what it was about. Anyway,
That's the whole
yeah,
point.
I know, but I just had no interest in the. We'll talk about this afterwards. We can't spoil
I
our
hate
Mushoku
EliteAri.
Tensei stuff here. Go ahead, Kyle. Any more? What else? Is that it? You made quite a lot of
Steins Gate
predictions.
Talk is good, but Guilty Gear was too far.
So you think we're going to a school?
Well, now it sounds like it doesn't look like it's not a school. It's some sort of abstract.
No.
school.
I mean the school, like the university. You think we're going to the university?
Oh, we get interrupted on the journey. Okay, I don't fucking know. Leave me alone. I don't know these fucking things. What was it? Oh yeah, the name of the next episode is the dumb university.
The Renoa University of Magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what's going on. Jeez, I'm on fire right now.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
not really a pun guy, EliteAri, but today, no.
Yeah. You're so punny
I
today.
can't help myself.
Okay. Do you remember I guess the last thing I was going to say is, do you remember the names of the firstly the magic
Cat
guy
girl.
from the OVA, not the cat guy, the magic guy?
Cliff.
Nice. Okay. Do you remember the names of the cat girls as well? I would be surprised if you did.
Absolutely not. Cliff.
Okay.
I guess I'm just thinking about Cliff.
I mean,
from
Cliff is
Pokemon,
easier,
which
I
is
guess.
very
Yeah.
different.
Sure.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
like a little cliff, bro.
Well, it was Minotona and Tursana. So anyway, so then I guess that's it. Oh, okay. I
What about
already
that
asked
village when we
you.
had the greatest fight in Mushoku Tensei history with the dog?
Yeah, that was pretty great. My God, remember all the fights in season 1? Oof, so great.
Only that one. That's the only good one. That's the only good moment in this whole show.
Yeah, true.
Should
But
do more of that
that's it.
now.
Kyle said, "I'm assuming is there a 7 out of 10 again? You know, more of the same good stuff."
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember these fucking episodes. How long we been recording, by the way? How long did we go?
But Kyle, that'll give away how much I cut out. 1 hour and 28 minutes so far. So compare that to your timestamp right now. Everyone, look at the bar, and you'll probably see it's much shorter because I used AI to like cut out all the pauses and stuff, so it'll be a lot shorter.
Yeah, he's
and
a
also
fucking weirdo, this
Yeah.
leader. He's fucking with my timing, etc., etc., and I don't
Yep.
appreciate it.
True.
Oh, we did half an hour less without Jarkey Bacon.
Yeah.
wanted
I
to
guess
do
I should say,
longer
yeah.
because
We will
fucking-
we'll probably be back in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or something. And Bacon will be with us probably because he'll be back, I'm sure. But yes, thanks. Leave
Wait,
your
didn't you
comments,
say
all right?
It was
Say
the
stuff.
19th. Was like, oh no, that's of this month. I was gonna be like, oh, I might be gone by then, but that's fine.
No, don't worry. Kyle will be here. And so will I, because it is on my channel, of course. And I love reading all the comments, which you're all going to leave, and you're all going to say amazing things, and you're not going to spoil Kyle, all right? Because Kyle will absolutely read them. Even if you
But
say,
you are gonna
spoilers, don't read this, Kyle, he will read it, all right? So please don't write
maybe.
spoilers, all right?
Just
Good.
do it, Chad. Just do
No,
it.
don't.
Tell me about Zenith and where she is.
You know
and
what's going to be
happening.
funny? I wonder, maybe they won't even get to this point. They won't hear me say this, but there's probably people who will pick up on things like that I said that are like obvious, like I'm misdirecting you, and they'll probably point it
It
out.
was
And
funny at 1 hour and 23 minutes when
Yep.
EliteAri was giggling to himself like Kyle didn't know. I'll fucking click on that timestamp. Don't you fucking
Yeah, he
lie.
will. Anyway, that's Mushoku Tensei. See you next time. Bye.
Fuck you.